You don't know what genre your band is in. You don't know what you sound like. So when somebody asks you, what does your music sound like? You stutter and stammer. Well, I got some good news. Your sound does have a genre, and I'm going to help you find it. So stick around. You've been asked 100 times, oh, what does your band sound like? What does your music sound like? And if you say something like, oh, it's really unique. We're a mix of, X, Y, Z. Like, it doesn't really tell a story. What people are really asking for is, how should I think about your music in terms of generalities? Today, we're going to dive into how to find your genre. When it comes to promoting your music, or just describing your music, which is in a form of promotion, we get stuck. We are too close to the music sometimes. We're too, we know what our influences are. We know what kind of music we like. But when you get all of that put together and meld with your style and your influences and your aspirations, you can get lost. And it gets difficult to explain what your genre is. But genres are important, right? And they get sliced and diced, and there's no hard lines between genres. I mean, you can certainly tell the difference between metal and bluegrass, but I'm betting there's a metal bluegrass genre out there. And if there is, you should definitely send me a link. But this is difficult stuff, right? Especially when it comes to putting your music on Spotify, putting your music out for the public, booking your band, or like I said, just describing to someone else what they can kind of think of your music in general terms. So, I think back to like when I was growing up, there was metal, and then there was hair metal, and there was alternative, and country was kind of its own genre. But now there's all these subgenres. I mean, there's hundreds of metal subgenres. There's country, there's bro country, there's alt country, there's Americana, which has some overlap into country. And then when you think of alternative rock, like what does that even mean anymore? It doesn't describe anything. Back in the day, it might have meant Pearl Jam or Nirvana, but it also might have meant Susie and the Banshees. And as genres grow and as time changes and culture changes, the genres get either more segmented or they evolve to mean different things. I think of like the Cars, at one point being called punk rock, or new wave, or something else, and now they're kind of lumped in with Tom Petty as being classic rock. So there's a lot to think about in terms of genre, but it's important because, again, it gives you a window into what your band sounds like, who your band should be grouped with from a stylistic standpoint. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips. Some of these are going to be super obvious. Some of these are going to be some tools. And some of these are going to be maybe something you haven't thought about, but it's going to give you a way to start to think about how to define your genre. You can find your genre in a couple of different ways. Some are super organic, like just asking friends of your band, people who know music, hey, what does this sound like to you? How would you classify this? You might be able to do this from an engagement standpoint, and poll your friends on social media, whether it's a multiple choice or just, hey, what do you think about this? It's a good way to drive engagement, and they're the people that are listening to your music already, so they will have good insights for you as well. The other thing to think about is, what kind of songs do you feel like go with your song or your style or your album, your band overall, and pull those together. What kind of genres are those musicians in? And sometimes that's helpful. But be sure to, when you're thinking about your genre for a specific song or a specific album, that you're thinking about that song singularly and not as a overall type thing when you're first getting started out. It'll help you to niche down and be more specific about where your band should be in terms of genres. Let's talk about some other ways to go about this. You could certainly explore Spotify, as I said before. Look at the bands that you think you sound like, those artists that you have similarities to, and find out what genres they're in. Does that fit for you? There's a ton of Spotify playlists of different genres, and you can tell pretty quick, hey, my song goes with this, or my song doesn't go with this. And that'll help you to some degree. I would say another way to think about this is think about those artists that you do feel like, okay, I'm in a similar genre, or I have a similar style to this artist. And who do they tour with? Who do you see them on bills with? Because that might give you some more indication. And it might help you discover some bands that you really didn't know about before. Let's jump into a few of these tools. Now, they may not necessarily be AI, but they're a database of some form or another. There's some sort of tool that's out there on the internet for you to explore and learn about yours. So I'm going to do some screen sharing. I'm going to show you what I'm seeing. And we'll just use my band as an example. So let's pull this up real quick. All right. So what you're looking at right now is everynoise.com. And I think this is a pretty cool resource. One, to find your genre. Two, to explore new music. So start page here, very simple. Let's jump in here. Let's not use my music, but let's use some, I won't say lesser known, but maybe not the biggest artist in the world, but one of my favorite. Let's check in on the Hold Steady. So we'll just type in the Hold Steady and search that, and boom, you've got some genre work right here that now you can start to explore. Heartland rock, alternative country. I would not have called the Hold Steady alternative country. My mind goes to post-punk or some variant there of punk, but I suppose it fits pretty well in Heartland rock. So let's click on Heartland rock, and now we have like a pretty cool map here of all the things that you might consider Heartland rock. And this is kind of interesting to take a look at, because it'll include things like Hall & Oates, but it'll also include the Eagles and the Drive-By Truckers and the Black Crowes, and Cheap Trick. So yeah, kind of an interesting way to explore it. It's one way to look at how this site might work for you. So this is a great resource. Let's also, let me just close that up, and let's look at another site called Choosic. And this thing will do a ton of things for you. It will help you find similar songs, find songs by lyrics, if that's what you're looking for. But what we're talking about here is the Genre Explorer. So this is great. Let's look at similar songs. And let's get through the ads, as this is a free site. And let's type in a song name, and let's just stick with the Hold Steady. And I'll type in, let's see, let's go with this one. It's one of their more popular songs, and now you know that I can't spell Memphis on the first try. All right, so we'll click generate. And now what we have is a playlist of what Choosic thinks is similar. So you'll get some Matthew Sweet, you'll get some Gaslight Anthem, Ryan Adams, Wilco, Lifter Puller, obviously makes perfect sense, as that was Craig's band before the Hold Steady. But you get a host of things to look at here. So really great opportunity to dive into some exploration of your own genre. And I'll just show you this, guys. I did release a song just a couple of weeks ago. It's a cover song of a Grant Lee Buffalo song. And if I search out and get pretty specific by searching both the song and my name, you'll see that it's already in the database. So if you have songs that are already out there and you want to refine your genre or explore maybe what Chuzik thinks could be your genre, that's another way to do that. Cool. So there's a couple of good examples, and I'll just talk about a few more with you, but we'll stop the screen share as it's somewhat unnecessary. So a couple of other tools that you might want to think about is Submit Hub. Submit Hub is a great way you can just drop a link to a song, go through the song analyzer, and see how that works. As a matter of fact, you know what? Why don't we do that together? So let's jump into Submit Hub. And of course, I'm already signed in, but let's look at submitting a different song. Just so you can see a little bit about how this might work. So you can upload a new song via MP3, or you can just put in a Spotify link, and it will help you define your genre. Submit Hub's also great for a number of other things, such as getting feedback on your song, submitting to Play Hubs, and in addition to being a genre locator. So that's another tool that you can use. And also, if you just search AI, or actually let's just search genre, let's spell correctly, genre analyzer AI tool. I'll just show you, like, you're going to see all of these different tools come up to varying degrees of success or whatever. But I think by the time you go through, let's say 2 or 3 of these, you're going to kind of have a pretty good handle on where you should be putting yourself genre wise. So again, let's just cover back real quick. You need a genre if you're going to promote your music or describe your music to anyone. It just helps, again, pull in, narrow the focus of what they should be thinking about when they think of your band. Leverage some tools that are out there. Like, there's some, great tools with Apple Music or Spotify or any of the other platforms to find what genre your favorite artists are in or similar artists are in. And then leverage the power of the internet, right? We've got these great tools that will give you some ideas. I don't think any one of these is the most correct answer, but all of them can be helpful in defining your genre. And if you want to grow your music, and you want to get on the right playlist, and you want to find where does my music fit, this is the way to get it done. So do me a favor, drop a comment below. Let me know what kind of genre your band is in. And if you want to put a link to your outfit, that's fine as well. I would love to check out some new stuff. And then, one other thing. You got to hit the like button. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time. See ya.